Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name's Dara, and welcome to a little podcast thing that it's a bit of an experiment that I'm trying to do right now. So if you've been on my channel for a bit now, you probably realize that I'm basically a fucking anime fan, weeb, and all that shit from Praise of the Mr. Poopy Butthole video that I did. Shit ton of anime pictures. So I decided to finally get my shit together and do an anime related video. So what I've decided to do today for you guys is a discussion podcast like video to talk about Joey's top 100 anime poll that he did. And joining me to help me discuss the results of the poll is my good friend Bridget. Say hi, Bridget.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. So right now I have we both watched the videos and watched the results, so we're gonna talk about it. Right now we're gonna go. First, we're gonna talk about the accuracy of the list. I'm gonna start with that. So, Bridget, do you think how accurate do you think this list was, both on a personal level and on a critical level?
Okay, well, to kind of give a little bit of background on me, I am like super old anime fag. A lot of people may be familiar with Bennett the Sage, who's been around for a while, and I've been watching anime probably longer than him. Not saying that that's like any kind of like massive street cred, but I remember when there was still like the Anime America like magazine that you had to order VHS tapes, and you had no way of knowing if an anime was good or not until you actually spent the money on the VHS tape. So it's very different like after Toonami came around and kind of made some of the more popular in Japan things available in America like a decade after, because like a lot of people know like the US translated version of like Sailor Moon, but I remember watching it on Fox Kids, and I was already buying copies of it before the Americans brought it over and fucked up Uranus and Neptune, etc., etc. So how that relates to the list that we're looking at right now, so the way I've kind of assume the way that he made the list from the way he was discussing it, it's primarily kind of a list created from his personal fan base.
Do you want me to explain a little bit?
Yeah, if you could go ahead and kind of explain that, and I'll explain, I guess, my issues that I had with the way that he went about getting it.
Okay, so about 2 months ago or so, maybe 3, I don't remember. Joey put out a video called I Need Your Help, if I'm not mistaken. If you're a little lost, by the way, Joey is the Anime Man. He's a big anime YouTuber. If you haven't checked out his content and you love anime, please go check out his channel. He's like super cool and stuff. So what he did was a video about 3 or 2 months ago called I Need Your Help. And on that video, he said, guys, I want to do a project. I want to do an experiment, because he did a video called Top 100 Anime List According to Japan, which was an official Japanese poll. So a lot of his fans were talking about this is not accurate at all to the rest of the world's view on anime. Like, anime has a very different view in accuracy. From Japan's point of view, what are the greatest animes out there? And Joey was inspired by that and decided to make a poll of his own, because he personally said that he has never seen a poll, like a big, huge, gigantic poll, talking about anime, like the actual top 100 in an international level. So he asked all his entire fan base to share the video with every anime person that they know, every anime lover that they know. He asked all of his anime YouTuber friends to share his video. 3 of them actually shared them in their own channel, like making an own video about it. So basically, the purpose of this poll was to make a gigantic poll of the entire anime community internationally to vote on what their take of their favorite anime are. So you had about like 5 choices on from your top 5 favorite anime. Actually, only voted on 3, but we'll get back to that later. So that's kind of how Joey went. That was Joey's ambition. His purpose was to try to get an accurate top 100 anime list and a lot of people to vote. So he even took, because there were so many votes, it was like, I don't know, 100,000 votes or so, and like 600,000 reactions, if I believe so. So a lot of people shared it, a lot of people voted, so it was like a big project of his, and that was his intention, per se.
Right. And I guess my concerns are one, with being, I guess, even though it's multicultural, it's still kind of primarily his fan base and the people that were able to hear about it through that fan base and a lot of the forums on it. So you kind of get, anytime you get data like that, there's always a concern kind of like how it breaks down. So I imagine that if there's the small size, I guess, of the population sample, which it's pretty big for a list like that, you know, because he's got a pretty far-reaching fan base, but it doesn't really kind of give like a fully, it's basically kind of like his fan base and how far his microphone can get and their opinions, which primarily is going to be a more a younger demographic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And the thing I noticed with a lot of it is that a lot of the, without giving spoilers, the things towards the top of the list tended to be newer anime, primarily because, you know, as stuff kind of gets older, you know, people can have biases against it because, oh, this is ugly, or I don't like the art style, or it's, you know, old animes can't be, you know, that this whole, you know, there's a bias kind of working against it. I mean, some shows are able to transcend that stuff, like Cowboy Bebop and Full Metal Alchemist, which are trendsetters in anime, you know, and everybody knows about them, but other stuff kind of gets lost in the fray there. So I think it doesn't really necessarily guard enough against that, just because of the fact that you're dealing with a younger demographic primarily. But that's, you know, that's my unofficial quasi-scientific opinion from a nobody.
Don't say that, you're not a nobody. I agree with you. I think the reason why there's such a young demographic for anime fans nowadays, and most of them voted on this poll, is because anime is slowly becoming mainstream nowadays. Like I think, like basically ever since 2010, like anime is just slowly growing to bigger and bigger. Like yearly, has been more demand and more quantity of anime shows, even though not all of them have a really good quality.
I mean, we even have Will Smith's son working in on it too with that.
Oh, Will Smith! Oh God!
Yo.
Oh God! We don't. That's like a topic for a completely different discussion.
Yeah, no, we don't want to derail the podcast, so we'll steer clear of that disaster for another time.
Oh yeah, but like according to some people, it's just one of those things that is just so bad it's hilarious, like the Ghost Stories dub. I don't know if you've seen that, but that shit like,
it's so the room. Oh man, don't talk shit about Ghost Stories. It's amazing.
We have to we have to pray to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. P.S. All Jewish people are going to hell. Oh God.
That's a quote from the anime, by the way.
Yeah,
so
it's a quote from the anime. Don't think it's a...
it's worth a look. Well, it's one of those animes where it's like, it kind of came through like in that early gritty period of like the 90s, 2000s, where like, if you would have translated it directly from like the Japanese take on it, it might not have done as well as it did, because, you know, they wanted to kind of, I guess, what's the term they use? Localize it to the culture that would be viewing it. So it works out pretty well. But yeah,
like basically, if you've seen a crack on YouTube or a abridged series, it's the original abridged series in anime. Like that's the thing that started it all. But anyway,
I would think Dragon Pink is kind of in that same line, but that's a whole other thing. But continue on, dear. Continue on.
Yeah. So we're gonna move from 100 to 1, and we're gonna like talk about a little bit about every selection and our thoughts on the anime, both personal and critical. Okay, so starting with number 100, Free. Oh my god, I did not think this was gonna make the list. I kind of imagined, maybe a sports anime, but the fact that Free was able to scrape at the very bottom of the top 100 really surprised me. So, what are your general thoughts on Free Bridge?
All the ships. That's why that sold.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because like you see other commentary about like boys sports anime, and the funny thing is it's not usually guys who read it, right? It's the lonely, awkward girl because that's my people, right? That's our demographic, and they they like seeing hot young boys put in these dramatic situations where the bromance starts to form and might cross that thing. So we're looking at basically Free being a combination of, it's basically an Otome game without the Otome in it, just a whole big bunch of boy love. And, I get it. It's not my thing, but hot guys with swimmers' bodies having intense drama and intense feelings between each other. I
We're not
ship it.
fucking gay. We just like getting naked in water together. That's all. Hashtag not gay, man.
I'm so hurt on the inside. Comfort me.
Yeah, bruh, I love you, bruh. I personally liked Free. It's not my favorite sports anime with fan service. Fan service sells. Like, there is good type of fan service and there's bad type of fan service. I personally like fan service with, like, I like the story first. If I could get a little bit of like six packs in there, that makes my little Kokoda happy. But to me, story is everything. And as a person who has seen Free, I think it's a decent anime that's sports related. If you like that kind of stuff, if you like swimming, if you're very passionate about swimming, I think this is an anime that, regardless of your gender, I think you would enjoy. But on the scale, like, I have favorites and not favorites of the sports anime. Lucky Star. So this one's a little bit more of a classic. Personally, I didn't think Lucky Star was very funny.
You're entitled to be wrong.
I don't know. It's just that I watched the first episode and I was like, this has to be one of those anime that I should watch if I'm just depressed and I just want to forget life. Cause I think that's what slice of life. Sometimes this kind of slice of life is just forget life. Just if you want to just chillax and not use your brain for anything, just watch Lucky Star. So in that case, I think it's useful, but as in the haha meter, I give it like a 2 out of 10, and I didn't really laugh that much. So you think you think it's funny?
I think it's hilarious, but also bear in mind too, like I kind of lived through that era, so you were still little, and that was before anime was like massively huge over here. It was just starting to like find its ground. Like all the little Pokemon babies were finally like, oh, I love this art style, and finding other stuff. So it's like Lucky Star is kind of slice of life comedy, but it's also kind of like a historical glimpse back into what the Japanese culture was towards anime at that time as well. So it's kind of got like a snapper kind of, feel to it to me. But yeah, I enjoy it thoroughly just because, Kutana's my girl. She's my girl. I'm mispronouncing her name like a bitch, but yeah. That was me throughout middle and high school.
Yeah, Konata is definitely very cute. I did enjoy her. Like, every time she was being an otaku, I was just like, oh my god, this is me. And I did like her character a lot, but the side characters I didn't really care for. I think Konata is the reason why I was able to finish that anime. Because, like, whenever I was...
It is a different... Oh, go ahead.
Whenever I was, like, feeling a little sad, I would be like, I just want to, like, watch Lucky Star and forget about life.
Well, I mean, it's kind of in that whole, like, you could probably watch as a manga dio if you want less of, like, a more kind of timeless feel to it. Doing funny stuff on a regular basis to get the same feel. But, yeah, I don't know. Lucky Star has a special place in my heart, and it's not just because I know how to do the entire dance and because my boyfriend, asked me out because of that or anything. It's cool.
Oh my god. I actually can do the entire dance as well. Like every
Yeah.
time I get I'm like one of those fans that's like, I think Lucky Star's alright, the dance is pretty cute, I like the song. But I'm
It's
not
got one
obsessed.
of those catchy songs that everybody kind of knows in the community, though, too. It's like, I mean, everybody can name the Pokemon theme song, right?
Yeah.
And like everybody pretty much well knows Love Revolution or that one thing from Bakemonogatari, I think it is. You youngsters near new anime, but yeah, Lucky Star theme, like everybody knows it. And
Everybody knows I like sausage.
we know you do. It's okay. I won't tell nobody.
Well, besides the entire internet now knows. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Oh god.
So I guess we should move on to number 98, which is the antithesis of sausage.
Oh my
We go
god.
from things that make us happy to things that just make us so full of existential despair that we just want to just cut ourselves.
Oh yeah, Elfen Lied at number 8. This anime, man. When I watched this shit for the first time, when I finished it, I was on the floor, just like trembling, like, this world scares me. Everybody's scary. Humanity is scary. Why are people so evil? But besides that, like, it doesn't sugarcoat it. It's like humanity is evil and everybody sucks. They should all just fucking die. Deal with it. But then it has a happy ending, so I'm good with that. So, yeah. Elfen Lied is a classic that I definitely love.
Yeah, so if you like animals, don't watch it.
Oh,
But
God,
if you enjoy fan service and gore, it might be right up your alley. But I mean, everybody's pretty much well seen it by this point. But it's a little bit on the nose, I guess. There's no subtlety in Elfen Lied, in my opinion. It's all pretty much
Yeah.
no
sugarcoats. It's just like, this is what you get. This is the world. Deal
Actually, I just
with
thought about it.
Huh?
You know how you have those people who have like Mary Sue characters who have just like the most fucking ridiculously over the top tragic backstories?
Oh.
Yeah. Now imagine that girl, and no spoilers, in a classroom watching
Oh,
and
Jesus.
eviscerating all of them weapons.
Oh, God.
So it's pretty infamous. If you haven't seen it, I just spoiled it the scene for you. But
I can
yeah.
bleep it. I can just bleep that shit.
Yeah.
The magic
Yeah.
of editing.
Yeah. Well, I said spoiler warning, so if they were stupid enough to list past that, they get whatever they deserve.
Oh,
Anyway,
savage. Okay.
Sassy. Anyway.
This is a Christian
so I guess-
channel, god damn it. We don't say like really mean things to people. We don't curse women. We're nice to people.
God
who
helps
are-
those who help themselves, Adara. I gave them a spoiler warning. They can skip ahead a minute.
Oh god. Okay. Number 97, Log Horizon. I'll be blunt. I didn't like this anime that much. I'm not a fan of politics, and Log Horizon is basically gaming mixed with politics and mixed with like very organized like civilization, and that shit bored me to death. This isn't a popular like opinion, but I would rather watch Sword Art Online again than watch Log Horizon, because at least Sword Art Online, even though it's stupid as hell, even though its premise is shit, even though its plot is shit, at least the world is pretty and it has nice colors, and I don't know, it's just brainwash, but at least it wasn't boring to me. Log Horizon just honestly just bored me. There are better there are better gaming anime in my opinion.
I'll be completely honest with this, right? So because my fiance did try to get me to watch Log Horizon because he was into it, and I think he actually read some of the light novels, because it's one of those many Japanese anime now that's an adaptation of, started its life off as the lowly light novel. They're not always bad, but like he's like, yeah, it's about these people who, they're in a game, but they're in that reality and stuff. So I'm like, oh, so another one of those. And I think this was I think it came out a little bit after Sword Art Online had kind of cornered the market on that in recent memory. But I mean, it's not an original concept as far as that goes. But it's definitely better than, God, there was that one that was just atrocious. I think it was Gate. It'll still be better than Gate. So I'll say that, but I don't know, maybe I didn't give it a fair shake, but I just saw that it was another one of those, normal people get sucked into a fantasy world / video game and have to survive and make do. Oh, another one of those. And I just wasn't in the mood for it. So it kind of shocks me that that's above Elfen Lied, Lucky Star, and Free, honestly.
Yeah.
But this is where I go back to it's younger audiences viewing these, and so they maybe haven't had time to become jaded with that concept yet.
Yeah, but the thing that separates Log Horizon and makes it unique is the whole actually like being a government and actually being organized. They actually they have this food. For example, they have this food problem in the world where everything they eat just tastes like salted crackers. So they are able to learn how to actually make food that actually tastes good, that actually tastes like the things they're cooking, and like
sandwich code.
Yeah, they make sandwiches and burgers, and like with that they try to make they share their secrets with the government, and they try to make the world a better civilization, like more organized. They share their secrets for cooking and to make the world a little bit better. So it's different from the typical you get sucked into a fictional world and you have to play to survive. This is more it feels more like an ancient civilization than a game, to be honest. It does not feel like a game most of the time. It just feels like a very organized government and doing shit, and to me it's kind of mundane. So if you like very organized stuff, if you like world building, instead like that, then I would watch it. But it's definitely not my favorite anime game related thingamabob.
Yes,
Okay,
maybe I gave it. So we should go on to next. Sorry.
Okay, number 96, Captor Sakura. I actually have no opinions on this because I've never watched this one.
Get the fuck out of this podcast. I know it's just a podcast, but get the fuck out. Oh my god. How could it's one of those seminal magical girl animes that became kind of like a trend-setting thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Granted, it was after Sailor Moon and so many other ones, but I actually owned a copy of The Cloud.
Oh, yeah, I know of it. I just never got to watch
it's
it
episodic and repetitive, but I mean, the thing is Clamp too, right? Before your time, because I'm old. Clamp was the shiz.
So what is Captor Sakura about? What is it about?
Cardcaptor Sakura, kind of in short, is your typical magical girl anime to an extent where you have Sakura and her older brother, and Sakura comes across this magical book called The Cloud. She opens it and frees all the magical cards within it, and subsequently has to recapture the cards and put them back together, and basically to become the owner of the book in order to control it, because Cloud is dead, and I guess it fell to her. And there's a teen romance thing between her and the boy that I guess originally kind of wanted it. It's been a while since I've watched it, so massive fans are probably gonna track me down and kill me after this, but that's fine. I deserve it. But she kind of goes through with her magical wand thing, then a little animated teddy bear incarnate thing, which I think I don't remember his name, but he can turn into this protective spirit. And they hunt down the cards and collect them again to put them back into the cloud. And there's other subplots, and there are a couple of spin-off movies that also reuse the characters later on that Yuki Kaijura did some beautiful music for. And I don't remember the names of them right off the top of my head because it's been a while. But It's worth a watch and just kind of digging into the universe if you've never done it before.
Okay.
Just because it's really rich, but it is it
It's
probably
more
hasn't
about the
aged
world
that
than
well.
the plot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it suffers from the same thing that Sailor Moon does to an extent, where a lot of it is kind of episodic, but there is more of an overarching plot in Cardcaptor Sakura than there is in Sailor Moon. But it
Okay.
doesn't, thankfully, fall to the same victim that X 1999 did of being just so pretentiously up its own ass that it was just ridiculous.
So it's
And
just
if
your. Sorry. It's just your typical magical slice of life anime. It's full of.
Yeah.
Jokes.
It's a little bit more in depth than Tokyo Mew Mew, but not so in depth that it's like Madoka, basically. So if you want something kind of lighthearted and cheerful that ends on a good note and with a really cute soundtrack, then definitely go for Cardcaptor Sakura and look up the old video of the Japanese fans of it who did the live action recreation of the opening theme, because it's hilarious. I should find that and show it to you for later.
Okay. Do.
It's
Okay.
hilarious.
Number 95, Berserk. I think this is referring to the original anime adaptation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the original, because the new one sucks.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. The new ones really suck. Like, I haven't even seen Berserk, but the way that the internet shits on the new adaptation is like, goddamn, no mercy whatsoever. Like, I have very mixed feelings about 3D anime, but they're mostly more like, can you just draw it 2D because it looks better? But I get why a lot of companies are trying to do 3D. Supposedly it's cheaper and it's easier to do. So I have very mixed feelings about it. But the original, it's not even the original is said to be okay, but not like Jesus Christ amazing, I think. So I don't have that many opinions. What about you?
It's a very beautiful kind of tale of juxtapositions and with a lot of symbolism and what are you willing to give up for greatness, and is greatness something that can be obtained or something that's kind of innate. There's just a lot of people who are a lot better at interpretation and with more time can probably explain it better, but I'm really surprised it's not higher up on this list, especially
Really?
considering some of the stuff that's above it.
Oh.
Just because of, as far as a narrative goes, it's got a really intense narrative, although admittedly it does kind of get bogged down with some of the violence and some of the rape. But bear in mind, that's kind of the era that it came out in. It was going up against stuff like Fist of the North Star, which is
Oh.
nothing but kind of over the top 80s violence, so it's got this really beautiful Count of Monte Cristo-esque, story of friendship and betrayal and growth alongside that, though. So I'm surprised it's so far down this list, but yeah, I'll leave it there.
Okay. Magi, the Lady Birth of Magic, number 94. Another anime that I haven't seen, but I've heard a lot of. Is it that one, like, Aladdin knockoff, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah.
I would say that's basically like Aladdin in name only, because it involves like this little boy who I guess has befriended a genie. It's been a while since I've seen it, so it's really kind of weird to explain. But it takes place in the Middle East and Arabia, kind of like this nameless desert country for the most part. And it's got a definitely interesting kind of if you like exploring and fantasy but don't want to get too deep into it, and you're okay with people using the fuck out of MacGuffins, then it might be kind of up for you, because it's very lighthearted but has like some serious stuff going on in it too, but
That
never
sounds fun.
so dark. Yeah, I mean, it's fun and lighthearted as a watch. It's not like, watching Elfen Lied where you're just going to want to cut yourself after. It kind of reminds me, because I think it came out after Fairy Tail. It's very lighthearted and just kind of effervescent, I guess. It's very fun. So as long as you don't take the animation style too seriously and don't think about it too hard, it can be really fun for like a younger audience. So it's good. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Number 93, Hellsing Ultimate. So I did see Hellsing. and I saw the original series. And after I saw the original series, honestly, I did not like it very much. I thought it was boring. But like, I had this problem with Full Metal Alchemist as well. Because I see the original series, right? And then right after I finish it, I tell my other anime loving friends, dude, you recommended Hellsing to me. It was very boring. I didn't like it at all. Well, yeah. And he tells me, bro, you had to watch the OVA, not the series. And I'm like, okay, boy, what kind of series makes the OVA the actual good content and the original series the extra content? Like, what the fuck? Because that's apparently how it works with this anime. So I was very upset and I didn't end up watching the OVA. This happened to me with FMA. Nobody told me the original FMA was quote unquote worse than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So I've never watched Brotherhood. I just watched the original.
I wouldn't say that it was necessarily worse as much as it was different. And it's just, it was a matter of time and what they had available and the budget kind of given to them. Mm-hmm. And even then, depending upon whether or not you're watching, I'm a big fan of subtitles, which I know that's evil, but I don't know, there's differences with dub and stuff too, and some of the line delivery, which change everything up. But I think they toned stuff down for the original TV thing based upon the censors and what they could get away with. Usually, in most things, the OVA is going to be a lot more interesting just because they don't have the limitations that you do with television. Mm-hmm. So it's that, and it was a couple years after, and the animation was better. So I can't fault it for that. But Hellsing is I've always loved it. I've loved vampires for a long time. I love the whole concept of what they do with Stellus Victoria. I love the way they portray Hellsing and Alucard, and just the craziness and the violence of it, and the inclusion of, the Nazis, and just the way they approach everything. It's just, it's I wouldn't say it's mindless, but it's bloody, gory, just action, and it's beautiful.
All right. One thing that I really do like about the original series is the music, though. The original opening and endings, both of them, 10 out of 10.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Okay, number 92. This one I'm actually very happy that's here. The Pet Girl of Sakuraso, or also known as Sakuraso no Pet no Kanojo. I didn't vote for this, however, this anime actually came to my life on a very depressing breaking point when I felt that no matter what I did, it was never good enough. So sometimes I still do feel like that, but this anime, it really shows how ambitious young people reaching adulthood are, and it shows, it really portrays a failure, and it portrays how it's okay to fail, and how you're gonna fail a lot in your life. You're gonna keep failing over and over and over again, and even though you want something so badly, and sometimes you feel like you're not good because a lot of people you feel like they're much luckier or they have better abilities than you. So it really talks about all those themes. It really is one of my favorites. It's just something that is very personal to my heart, and I think it's just one of those animes that a lot of young adults, I think all young adults could relate to, so I'm very glad that it's in the list. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it, but if I would probably watch Kiki's Delivery Service and Mob Psycho 100 for the same message.
Oh wow. No, this one is a little more brutal, I think, because Mob Psycho is just puberty, but this is the stage of young adult, Kiki and Mob are children growing to teenagers. This is a teenager growing to adulthood, so it's different in that sense. So there's a lot of moments that are very sad in this anime where you really feel for the characters. You can really relate to them. So if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's really good.
This is where we're gonna have to differ on taste, because it looks like it's just another fan servicey boy meets girl who's on the wrong track and has to
Oh
has to
no.
baby her, just in the
Actually, no.
synopsis. So
It does have a little.
okay, so
It does have a little bit of that because actually the main character is autistic. One of the main female lead is autistic, so it does have a little bit of that. But just the characters are really really interesting because it's not just girl and boy and love. It's just it doesn't fall for those cheap stereotypes, which is what I like about it, because the people living in the building are, let's see, 6 different people with 6 different backgrounds and history, and they all have these different abilities and perspectives. So it really doesn't fall for the cheap stereotypes and categories. That's why I recommend it. And so I do recommend you at least like check out like 3 episodes because I think it's good, but it's okay if you don't want to. Okay,
so that takes us up to Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
Yes, Katekyo Hitman Reborn, number 91. Another one I haven't seen. Do you have any thoughts on it?
I haven't seen it, but it looks like it might be fun because it looks like it's kind of like straight up actiony in the same vein of Lupin the Third. So I think I remember like the original Hitman series very vaguely, but I never got my list somewhere.
Oh, okay. Like Hitman, the only thing I can really think of when I hear Hitman is the game, you know, with the bald dude and the tie and the suit. That's the only thing that comes to my head.
Yeah, if we make an anime out of that, it can be by the same people who did Berserk, and we can just have nothing but just, you know, pissing off Anita Sarkeesian and showing hookers getting killed and murdered, even though like you get disenfranchised for that. So
could be fun.
Could be fun.
Number 90, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh.
Yeah. Yu Yu
It's Yu Yu Hakusho, bitch. Say it right.
Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho. Forgive me. Have you seen it then?
Hell yeah.
What's it about?
It is your typical shonen anime wherein, okay, so imagine Bleach, but like in the 80s.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I've only seen the first episode of Bleach, so does this have Shinigami in it?
It's your typical shonen anime. You have a young boy, and I don't remember if he sacrifices himself, you know, because he's noble, or if he dies, but he's a little bit of a delinquent, and he has a girlfriend.
Okay.
And he ends up dead and gets basically recruited by this, you know, typical overarching secret society of paranormal people who make him a spirit detective. And so he goes around hunting ghosts, taking out demons, and just kicking ass with his little finger click pointer gun thing, which is basically he can shoot lasers from his finger in karate. So it's kind of like a cross between Bleach and DBZ, because a lot of the series follows the typical shonen trope of relying on tournaments for a lot of its action. That way you have sanctioned, honorable fights, but there's also things that take place out of it. It's, you know, I fight my enemies, then we're friends helping each other the next day kind of thing. So it's, I don't know, maybe it's like DBZ with a touch of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's your typical old-fashioned shonen anime, and Kurama is like the sexiest thing ever. I love him. He's beautiful.
Sounds sounds interesting. So he shoots lasers from his finger?
Yep, and he's also really
like
good
Cuphead?
at martial arts. Yeah, he's basically like 1990s Japanese Cuphead.
Oh my god.
With an entire entourage.
Hell yeah.
It was kind of like, he used to be like one of the antagonists of the series, but it's one of those turn good kind of things. And he's got like the old-fashioned view of what like a Japanese view of like a thug was back in the day. So before they started wearing loose pants and emulating rap culture, they had kind of like the 1950s bouffant in a lot of the animation. So if you've seen older anime, you'll know what I'm talking about. But,
right.
Yeah. It's worth a watch. You know, it's kitschy. It is what it is.
Alright. Number 89, Yona of the Dawn. Another one that I haven't seen. Don't worry, I've seen the other one
either, so I have no opinions of it here. So I feel horrible, like a failure as a senpai. But it looks pretty. Let me take a look here really quick.
Yeah, like don't worry.
I wanted to see this one.
Huh?
Yeah, I wanted to see this one. Let me be clear. I wanted to see this one, but I just haven't had time to yet because of school.
Alright.
So
It's always the case. It's normally I'd like to see it. It's just that I don't have the damn time, fam. Cause I've only seen like about like you've been watching anime since you were a kid, so it's cool because you're actually senpai material when it comes to anime. But basically, I just hit the adult years of anime. I only seen like 130-ish something anime, not counting movies. So
yeah, I haven't been watching much of the recent stuff because I'm a failure. So forgive me, Kohai.
Don't worry about it, man. It's not like there's a lot of good stuff going on this year anyway.
Yeah, which leads us to the next thing, which I think was one of the few decent things from like, well, no, this is 2015 that this one came out, and that's Charlotte.
Oh
at 88.
yeah, I loved Charlotte. I loved it. It was really, I loved it. Like, I don't even have anything else to say about it. It's just good. Just go watch Charlotte.
I haven't actually seen it, so
just watch
but
it. Like,
I like the animation style.
Like, it's just one of those things that is just, I don't want to explain it. Just watch it. It's just so good. It's just, it gives you all the feels, you know. It's just, it's good. It has action. It has teenagers. Hot teenagers. It has superpowers. It has good music.
If I want to see hot teenagers, I'll just watch hentai. But
no, but it's just, I don't even know how to describe this anime. It's just good. Just good. It's just one of the things that I liked more about it is that it's one of those animes with that main character twist where in the beginning he seems like the biggest fucking asshole in the entire galaxy. Like you
find out that he is.
No, like you watch episode 1 and you're like, I fucking hate you. Is this seriously our protagonist? I don't want to watch this anime if this is our protagonist. But then he goes in through such a big character change, like he develops so much that he's a completely different person at the end of it, and you're just like crying all the tears of sadness and joy and just watch Charlotte. It's just so pretty. I loved it. Seraph of the Dead, number 87. What a disappointment was this anime. God damn it. This is the reason why I don't like vampire things anymore. Like, first it was Twilight, and now they made this shit. Like, why do people keep ruining vampires? Like I have so little faith in vampires because of like anime like this. To be honest,
I'm gonna blame it on a Vampire Night. Piss off all those fangirls.
Oh yeah, I also watched that anime. It's not on this list, by the way. I watched that anime thinking it was gonna be good, like fan service, but the characters are so one god fucking damn dimensional. I did watch the whole thing somehow, but the characters are just so one-dimensional. It's just eye candy. Like,
basically it's better budgeted Diabolic Lovers, the way that you're saying it. Oh, actually no.
No,
there's more sword
Seraph
fighting.
is an anime where expectation is like Attack on Titan, but the reality is that you get number 6. No, wait, I'm sorry. That's an insult to number 6, because number 6 is actually a good anime. But it's just, it's just so cheap. It's so cheap. This anime, like, it had good ideas, but they put so much whiny, soggy shit in it. It's like putting a piece of bread in water. That's what this anime was. You have the bread, but then you have to sog it up with bullshit. The water is a metaphor for bullshit, and that's what the result of this anime was. Just disappointment. I didn't like it.
Your metaphor, that's beautiful.
Well, I like my metaphors.
Well, since you got to go on a rant about that one, 86 is going to be like my rant off, I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay, I know this isn't going to be a popular opinion, and people will probably send me death threats for this, but I don't like Kill.
Sorry,
I don't like
can you
number
repeat
86
that?
on
It cut
this
a little
list.
bit.
I do not like Akame ga Kill.
Neither do I, man.
Shall I say it louder?
Yell it to the
All
sky.
right.
Yell it to the sky, damn it.
I'm not gonna yell it, but it is some of the most filler-filled, cliche, tropey, forced Deus Ex Machina fucking bullshit that could have been something good if they had just like thought about what they were doing for more than 5 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it was probably based on a light novel or manga. I don't know the source material, but you have to see this. This is like the better novel. And it's like, boy goes to city to make a name for himself. Kind of, not really. And ends up joining a mysterious group of assassins who are trying to take out this evil, government thing.
Yeah.
Problem is, could have done, and I don't know if it's just because they didn't get the budget to do more episodes, so they condensed it down, or if the writing really was that clumsy and just fuckled all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. It was very unsatisfying. It was like being in an orgy, but just being the person getting Gatorade for everybody. You know?
And I thought and you said my metaphor was good. No, that one's just 10 times better. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I agree with you. Like, also, one of the things that made this anime just made me just feel so, like, done. They just kept killing off character after character until basically all of them are dead. Like, I get the plot armor is bad, but not having it at all is just as bad. If you're gonna kill every single character, then you lose attachment to whatever is happening, because you think, oh, nothing matters, they're gonna die anyway. And that's like exactly what happened in this anime. That's one of the things that ruined it for me.
There's a difference between killing off a character that you have an emotional bond and then literally like having them in the background, not focusing on them until an episode or two later, like, and then killing them immediately after. So it's like, oh, they're focusing on this character this episode. Well, guess who's dying next one? Yeah. I mean, it's so predictable who dies, and they rely upon that to fuel the along. Like, everything else is just kind of happenstance. Although, I will admit to kind of like, I want an anime about like the enemy group that they were fighting who worked for the government. Like, hot ass psycho ponytail girl and her fucking monster dog from hell, man.
Oh, God.
That guffin tool ever. And I loved her. And I just want to see a show about her. Like, you have so much promise and so much you could have done, and they fuck it up.
I know, right?
And it pisses me off. It's, I don't know.
The fact that it's in this list just so disappointing.
Yeah, I'm angry because it could have been so much better. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, I don't know. It could have been better executed.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
My hate comes from a place of love.
Not to save up this catastrophe, number 65, When They Cry, or Higurashi no Naku Koko ni.
I love this series.
Me too.
It was based originally on a game, which Danganronpa is now kind of like the murder and try to solve it game now. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it's slice of life with a touch of gore.
No, it's the opposite. It's gore with the touch of slice of life, fam. Because this shit has no mercy.
It depends. What part of your life is the gore? What part of your life's the slice of life? Anyway, go ahead.
If there was ever a good anime that is like actual horror, quote unquote, anime, because when you think horror anime, you just think gore, because you don't really, there's not really horror anime out there. It's just gore. But if there's any anime that I would actually consider psychological horror, is this shit. Because when I was done with this anime, I was legit, like, questioning my own sanity. It was like, I was, like, for a lot of part of these, I was questioning my own sanity as a human being. Like, it really touches on things that are like, what would you do in the worst case situation, and how does that make you a hypocrite? How does that make you who you really are? And like that kind, when shit touches on stuff like that, like Elfen Lied and stuff, it's, to me, it's good. But like this one, like I watched it way after Elfen Lied, so. And I was more mature, so I really enjoy this one. Very good. Like, for anyone that wants to watch this, you're gonna see the first episode, you're gonna wonder, like, what is happening? Trust me. Yet, this one is just, there's no 3-episode test with this one. Or you watch the whole thing, or you don't watch it at all. Because if you're gonna treat it with the whole 3-episode test thing, you're not gonna understand it. And you're gonna be like, I don't like this, because I'm confused. Well, this anime you only get when you watch the whole thing. So, either watch the whole thing or don't watch it.
The second part, when you start focusing in on Rika and what she's actually going through, it's Himika and Hamura are very similar to me as far as what they've been through.
Yes.
The despair.
It's pretty good. Like, one thing that I didn't like about Rika, though, I feel like, I don't know, there's one, that's one nitpick, that's my only nitpick in the anime, spoiler, but, there's just, I don't know, I feel like, I always wondered why she didn't tell everyone that, what was actually happening. Like, I wonder
probably
why she
the
never
same
tried.
reason that Hamura didn't, because she probably tried that in one timeline and it backfired horribly.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, don't think that she didn't, because, usually, like, the first time is like, wait, if I just tell everybody, and then it just makes stuff worse.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay,
I guess that takes us up to... Go ahead.
Yes, number 84, Kyoka. So I've heard a lot about this anime. It's on my list of anime to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. Have you?
I have not yet seen it either, which is kind of sad, because you figured it'd be something that I would enjoy, but
yeah.
The summary on its page right now on IMDb is, Botaru is an unusually quiet, apathetic, but his sister forced him to join the classic literature club. Once he discovers some information regarding an incident surrounding one of the members' uncle, together with an inquisitive girl, this unassertive boy delves deeper into the mystery. So, that's probably not even the tip of the iceberg for this series, I would assume. So, somebody needs to get hold of the people who write the descriptions of this and, like, kick their ass. But yeah,
I have.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it.
Yeah, this is a much watch for a lot of people because they say it's really, really good. So I will definitely watch it. Ghost in the Shell, number 83. So I was expecting this to be here. So I'm guessing this is referring to the original movie, not the series. I watched both the movie and the series. And the thing about Ghost in the Shell is just, it's not my thing. I'm not a big fan of detective stuff. I have watched a few anime. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like, some of them I'm like, it's okay, it's just not my thing. And Ghost in the Shell is just one of those things. I liked the movie, I liked the standalone complex fine, but I didn't really want to watch the rest of its content because I already know what I was getting into. So, Ghost in the Shell is good. Like, in a lot of respects, it's good anime. Because it's, first of all, it's a classic. Second of all, it's, let me put it this way. If you're not a fan of anime, this motherfucker inspired The Matrix. So, shove The Matrix, like, to the side, just watch Ghost in the Shell. Because this is the original Matrix. Which, just the idea that was brought with Ghost in the Shell is brilliant, in my opinion. And for that alone, it definitely deserves a spot on this list. I was actually hoping it was going to be higher, because this is one of the greatest original ideas that, in my opinion, that exists out there. Just the whole cyberpunk thing, and the whole ghost concept, which is like, The ghost is basically the soul inside of a robot, and it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. It's not like my favorite, but I highly admire Ghost in the Shell for what it is, and I respect it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that doesn't really
Silence.
cover the iceberg there. So, I'll say this: the Ghost in the Shell animes that we got are. I used to actually read the manga back when Dark Horse Comic first brought them over,
Okay.
and they're drawn by Masamune Shiro, who, at the time, he'd made more than one kind of series in this whole post-apocalyptic future kind of thing, like. Not to really give away how bad my taste is, but I actually really liked Dominion Tank Police that he did, which is also an OVA that was made like in the 90s.
Okay.
So he has kind of a history of drawing like really, really hot, strong female characters. And the Major is kind of in that same line. And she was a lot more sexualized in the manga, and the manga was not nearly as cerebral and philosophical as the animes turned into be. So he's always kind of covered like what society would be like in a situation where mankind is no longer limited by the biological body, right? So that's kind of been a long running theme of his before he kind of descended into just drawing like big old titties, which is kind of what he does now. Which is really a damn shame because like he also did Appleseed, which I think you would probably like, Kohai.
Okay.
It's a story between a woman and her boyfriend turned RoboCop suit type thing. So it's kind of awesome. He also did Black Magic M66, which is about like these like androids that kind of go rogue for the military and start killing people, and the rest of the plot is shit, but the artwork was interesting for its time. So as far as the Ghost, one of the few things to kind of cross that Japan/America line, you know, where it kind of got mainstream recognition, and it kind of appeals to a number of things, but it also kind of covers, you know, the future and what we're going to be looking into as we become less individuals, more of a interconnected society in all the ways that might mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that it's not higher up on this list and it's just at number 83 beneath some of the shit that they listed more popular, which is part of also why I think this list is kind of like the younger anime generation, you know, what I like to watch because this is some good stuff and I like the hentai for it kind of stuff, as opposed to like what was groundbreaking and what was this and what was that. Because it's an older anime and it was a trendsetter for what it was, but obviously that's a pretty shitty showing for something that was so revolutionary.
Yeah, it was like definitely revolutionary. I think one of the reasons why there are animes like, I don't know, for example, 82 Kuroko's Basketball, higher, is because people watch things that they like to watch things that they can easily digest more. Because things that they can relate to, things that look pretty, and things that escape reality. So between that and animes that are actually like more philosophical, like Ghost in the Shell or Neon Genesis Evangelion, people are not attracted to those as much, even though they're artistic masterpieces. We can talk about your rants of Evangelion later.
Yeah, we'll have that discussion another time. But yeah,
no, it's in this list. It's in this list. We'll definitely talk about it right now, but maybe hold on. It's not on the top 50, so we're gonna talk about it in part 2. Because I'm gonna we're gonna divide something I forgot to say in the beginning. God damn it! This video is gonna be divided in 2 parts because like we need to breathe.
Oh, it's
our
gonna
brains.
need to be 3 parts when we get to the part with Evangelion. Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh yeah, you're free to say whatever you want here. Yeah, except no swearing, because this a Christian channel. We don't want to get this video demonetized.
Oh, it's family friendly. Shall I pull out the family friendly slash fiction?
yes,
You know,
please.
I know you have so much of it.
Oh
Kohai.
God, please, family
You
friendly,
got it,
guys.
Kohai.
Hell yeah. Please, YouTube Senpai, don't demonetize my video.
Actually,
I already
Devin-
don't have a lot of views. Have
Good,
some mercy.
stop. Actually, can I give away one slight spoiler about this list?
Which?
Since I'm already using
no,
the
no.
Haru Haruko voice.
No.
Oh, actually, no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Actually, never mind. I was wrong. Never mind. I'm gonna
Okay.
shut up.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to say.
Okay,
Someone gonna have to stop.
back to your original programming. Kuroko Basketball, number 82. What are the opinions? So this anime is actually one that my friend watched, and he's straight male. And I think Kuroko's Basketball is one of those anime that's actually a sports anime. Like, it's an actual sports anime that got for guys. That there is a
It's ruled by girls.
no, yeah, and girls too, but this one only has like a little, like, it only has like a few drops of fan service. It really has fan service. Like, I've seen this thing. I know there's a lot of ships online, but honestly, it's okay, because there's really not that much fan service. There's not that much, like, shirtless and sweat and sexy shit, like, free. So this is an anime that a straight male could watch in peace, and nobody's gonna question your sexuality for liking it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Your roommate's not gonna go behind you and just be like, "Gay!" walking behind you.
you can be rest assured this won't happen. I know that if you look,
But your boyfriend might. Your
Oh.
boyfriend might. Tell you.
oh yeah, your boyfriend, right? Yeah. So this is an anime. Like, if you like basketball, I would actually recommend Slam Dunk. That's what it's called, right? Slam Dunk. That other, like, the much older anime about basketball. God forgive me, I'll put like the title if I'm mistaken in editing. But Slam Dunk is actually an even manlier basketball anime than Kuroko no Basket, so I suggest watching that first. But if you want to watch something a little more aesthetically pleasing, not because I'm fucking gay or anything, just like newer anime, then you can watch Kuroko no Basket. So, thoughts, or have you not seen this one?
I haven't seen this one at all, and I haven't seen the next one. Actually, the next two I know nothing about.
Okay, we can skip those then. Pokemon. Do we really have to talk about Pokemon number 79?
Well, let's at least mention them. So number 81 was Terra in Resonance. So any
Alright.
fans of that, we greatly apologize for our ignorance, and
Go make
please
us
lavish us with your please lavish us with your baby oil of truth. Number 80 was Natsume Yujinjo, which sounds like it's probably good, but I haven't seen that either because I'm trash and I'm sorry. Forgive me, master. And then number 79, which is Pokemon, which
Gotta
I'm
catch
surprised
'em
that's
all!
not further down the list.
Sorry, I had to. I want
Like
to
STDs.
No, I know. I know you like singing this shit in the shower, but this is not the place. So really,
I mean, you can sing it if you really want to, but you know.
Nah, I'm gonna spare our lovely viewers. Our fabulous 9 viewers watching this video. I'm just kidding. That was a Marathon reference. To Pokemon. Is there really anything like it's a motherfucking Pokemon. Do we have to really talk about it?
A little cliff note, they did start changing up the animation style and some of the continuity stuff in the more recent stuff, and I still totally buy into the fan theory that, like, Ash is totally in a fucking coma and has been for a while. And he is also the most neglectful, shitty Pokemon owner, like, ever, seriously. Like, I
Yes.
baby my Pokemon, and just, like, it pisses me off.
But he loves
Where the fuck are the
Pikachu.
shinies?
He loves Pikachu. He loves him. How is he neglectful?
Yeah, but he's got all these others that just rot in his PC.
Oh my
Like, you know what happens with Pokemon, like, when they go to, like, the PC, right? Like, they basically go to, like, a Pokemon lab, and then they take care of them there, is my general understanding. Although
Okay.
there's also been, like, the whole they stay inside the Pokeball thing. So he's just got, like, hundreds of Pokemon just, like, hanging the fuck out. Like, man, I miss my human being. So he's, I don't know, just it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like it's a Pokemon puppy mill kind of thing, I guess.
I
It
think
just- it
all
makes
of
me
the
sad.
trainers are like that, though. I don't think that's exclusive to Ash. I feel like all.
That's a whole video on its own, though. It's like, how fucked up is it to basically have the equivalent of dogfighting be the source of the economy?
Oh
And plus
my.
the fucked up war that killed all of the men apparently years ago, like in that universe, like
Oh,
the one that you don't hear them talking about.
yeah.
That and the fact that you can totally capture God, right? Like, yeah, man, I captured the God of space and time. Oh yeah, well I have Satan. You want to do it? Okay.
Yeah, let's Mew Mew versus Satan. Why did I say Mew Mew? I meant Mew.
Jigglypuff versus Satan. Yeah, it works.
No, Jigglypuff just needs to sing, put Satan to sleep, and just get really triggered and just draw a dick in his face.
Dude, this is so lame. Flabebe just killed God.
Oh
What's
my
gonna
god.
happen to our reality? I don't know, man. Somebody needs to get like, use a revive on God real quick.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, but I'm glad the series just, it's lighthearted and it is what it is. So,
Yeah. it's someone's childhood out there, so it's an
totally
honor.
different from number 78.
Oh. No, I would say this is someone's childhood, maybe. A child that's not a fucking pussy. No, just kidding. 'Cause-
Yeah, no, I mean 78 technically was somebody's childhood, and then
Yeah.
it turned into a post-apocalyptic nightmare.
Oh god.
I need to go find my medicine. Give me a second.
Oh my god. Okay. So, in case you you don't know what I'm talking about, it's 78 Akira. So yeah, one of the best movies of all time. It's not even of all time. It's of all time, because that's how good it is.
Or at least one of the most iconic. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good, but it has its place in it. Ugh.
I really liked Akira. It's also one of those movies like Ghost in the Shell. It's very philosophical. It has a lot of like heavy shit put onto it. A lot of themes that talk about human morals and human intelligence and the psyche and the power of the mind. And motorcycles. Who can't forget?
And coming of age.
motorcycles.
It's
And coming
basically
of age, yeah.
a really fucked up coming of age story that initially starts off as what you think is like a Japanese gang and then turns into the concept of,
Like, it just
everything,
starts like your
in a way.
typical gang, and then it turns into a weird mixture of Evangelion and maybe some
Yeah.
tentacle hentai, because goddamn, that final transformation, though.
It's one of those movies that probably really could have benefited from being like, and I don't remember if it actually was a mini series to start off with, but if they would have maybe lengthened it out, they could have kept more, I think, from like the original. I want to say it was either like a novel or a graphic novel at first, and there was probably more layering in that. But then again, it also comes from that, time period when, gritty and violent was the norm. There was that whole postmodern 1980s Japan looking back towards the 50s and kind of rebuilding post-war, and the feel of into it, because you can find what's the name of that one anime? I think it's Lone Wolf, maybe.
Lone Wolf?
Give me a second.
One.
I'm old, okay.
You're not that old, man.
No, I'm ancient anime terms.
You're,
I'll
you're-
remember it eventually, but it kind of covers the same kind of like what's going to happen to us as a species, and the whole Blade Runner-esque like gigantic mega cities full of disenfranchised, rebellious people, and times of extreme economic want, which I think was kind of like the whole y'all need to appreciate where you came from, young whippersnappers kind of thing. Because there's
yes.
yeah.
A lot of
It covers that.
a lot of visual gruesome imagery as well, but like nothing disgusting. I mean, I don't really find gruesome imagery in anime disgusting, because it's anime, you don't really get grossed out by drawings, in my opinion. So it's in a way it's beautiful, just how the animation is. And also one thing that's very well done in this movie is the lighting. Like they really use lighting a lot. Very well. They use lights a lot and very well in this anime film. So if I had to say, I think they use lights as very like I'm stuck. Point is they use lights very well in this anime. They use lighting very well.
The lighting and shade are basically
yeah, the
utilized
lighting and
very-
shading. I got a little tongue twist there, but they use lights and shading very well in this anime, which I really like. So number 77, Mushishi. This is one also that's it's on my list. It's been recommended to me. I've been told that it's really good, but I haven't watched it yet.
I have no opinion. I'm sure it's decent.
Yeah. Okay. Dragon Ball. Can we skip that one as well? Because it's Dragon Ball.
The original series, by the way, not Z. So the original
Oh,
that's
yeah.
based more on, I think it was like Monkey's Journey to the West or whatever.
Yep.
To an extent. So, it was Jinro, by the way. Jinro was the one I was thinking of.
Oh.
God, I'm
Okay.
a horrible person.
No, you're not a horrible
Yeah, you should watch that because that's fucked up. Seriously, watch Jinro. You'll enjoy it. Anyway, but yeah, Dragon Ball. It's good. It's classic. It's your typical old shonen anime with tournaments and adventure, and the same guy who did the artwork for Chrono Trigger and the Dragon Breath games, I think. No, Dragon Quest. So yeah, I mean, if you don't know it by now, you should probably have an anime fan show it to you, just because it's classic. It's kind of like the Shakespeare of Fail.
It's also based on a lot of Japanese culture and history, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
And mythology. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because they have a Son Goku, which is a monkey, and it's like a god. So, but yeah. Number 75, possibly the one that's the better gore between Elf and Lied, and this one is Another. This story is a simple premise. You start well, there's conflict, ends well, it's wrapped up clean in a nice little bow. Great gore story. Very good. Very much liked it. Misaki Mei. What a beautiful little doll she is. Not literally, but she's just adorable. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen this one, but I always get it confused with another anime because there was that trend with like showing like really cute mo girls with like eye patches there for a while.
Uh-huh.
So I would get this one, and there's another anime that I would confuse it with all the time because I hadn't had a chance to see it yet.
Oh,
But I've
yeah.
seen clips and like
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember the name from the top of my head. It's basically the girl with the eye patch that's memed a lot.
yeah, and scenes from this though that I have Umbrella Death scene. Like, it's one of the few animes, like, I think aside from maybe Corpse Party, that can actually make me cringe. And I'm the sort of person that usually laughs at stuff like Saw and think about ways to improve it.
Another makes
yeah.
you cringe? Really?
Yeah, it's actually like the Umbrella Death scene, just because like it's like usually when people go out of the way to be gory, like they show blood and guts, but just like that scene in particular, like it's something that could really happen, right? Like, what is the chance of anybody actually getting, you know, kidnapped by a gigantic tentacle monster that's gonna, you know, fuck you until you explode? Not likely to happen, but could you fuck up?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
This
yeah,
anime is basically dumb ways to die anime gore version. and there's no
Yeah, pretty
be
much.
safe around trains commercial by the end. But it's good. I
Yeah.
liked it. I know it might seem cringy because of that one scene, but honestly the story is just so well made because it wraps around in a nice little bow. Has its beginning, has its conflicts, has its middle, has its end, and it's like the end. That's it. They lived happily ever after, / they all died. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Because that's what I like about this anime. It's actually 12 episodes, and they do it well. And I liked it more than Elf and Lied. Okay, number...
Yeah, seems better written for sure. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Number 74, Spice and Wolf. Yet another anime that people tell me to watch that's on my list and I haven't seen yet. There's gonna be a lot of these here. Like, I have the list.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But it seems like a really good kind of fantasy story, love story kind of thing. So it's on the list, but I've just seen way too much hentai of it.
Oh, God. I heard that the wolf girl is, like, into politics or something. That's all I know from it. Or she's, like, a politician or something? I don't really get it. Or a lawyer? I don't know.
It's got a great soundtrack. I know that.
Okay, finally something I actually voted for. Number 76. No, 73. Furikuri! Drumroll! This anime is my everything! I love this anime. Fully Cooley is my shit! It's another
Coming of age done right.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, this is coming of age done fucking right, man! It's fucking beautiful, man! And I voted this as my number, I don't remember if it was my second or third. But goddamn, I love this anime. It's like the best coming of age story ever. You got this crazy alien girl with pink hair and yellow eyes. You got this conflicting little boy. You got this soundtrack of this anime is so good. If you've never heard of this band called The Pillows, do yourself a favor and go look it up and listen to all their songs, because they're basically my god. It's legit my third favorite band of all time. Their music in this anime, it's the greatest thing. It's just, God, like, I was so happy that this actually made the list. All the anime I voted for made the list. Like, honestly, why isn't this higher on the list? Because I love this anime so much. It's really one of my favorites. It's beautiful. So
It's also, I can see why it probably wasn't higher, just because, like, if you aren't into, like, super kind of seemingly weird, off the wall, and occasionally awkward humor, it can kind of get to you. It covers, you know, some of the grosser aspects of sexuality and coming to terms with feelings, you know, because Naota has his brother's former girlfriend who has latched on to him and is calling him by the wrong name. His potential love interest in his one classmate who's like tsundere without the twin tails. And Haruko, who is the experienced older one, right? And then all the other cast.
Yes. It's not as gross. I don't really think it's as gross as it could have been, so don't be discouraged by it. But its visual aspects are actually they're very strange, but they're strange in good ways, you know. And you might not understand.
It's done by Gainax, so
yeah,
you know.
You might not understand.
Gainax is amazing.
You might not understand what the fuck is going on in the beginning, but it's just one of those anime that you have to watch like you might have to watch twice to understand. But like you can get you can understand it well enough on its on the first watch, and it's honestly it's a great anime, a great coming of age story. Harukawa. It's one of my favorite like characters of all time. She's just
I mean, this
awesome.
is also the same animation company that was responsible for Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I guess they were like, you know, we need to make up for the world for that piece of shit. So first they gave us Gurren Lagann, right? And then they gave us Panty and Stocking, and you know, Fully Cooley was in there too. So I mean, they've been trying to, I think, make up for fucking us over with Evangelion for the longest time. And I think they've almost paid off that debt.
If you're someone in your mid-20s or late 20s who used to watch Adult Swim when in your youth, you might recognize this anime because it premiered. It showed a lot on Adult Swim, so you might know it from there. Also, it's getting a season 2 and season 3 next year. Oh boy, Sorry.
which I'm terrified about. I hope they don't mess it up. Fun
Oh!
fact: I also call my boyfriend Takun partially because of this show. But
Oh God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Takun.
So yeah, I think they will do well. I'm praying they will, because if they don't, I will legit go to Japan and kill everybody that worked on this shit, because don't ruin my child.
Where the hell's my second season of Panty and Stocking?
Oh my god, I've never actually seen Panty and Stocking, but it sounds absolutely scrimly umptious. So
Okay,
yeah.
we have to make you watch that. We're gonna watch that and we're gonna film it and just watch your reactions,
Oh,
especially
God.
to the commander tissue scene.
God.
Oh, it'd
Sure,
be
why
beautiful.
not? Let's do it.
Give me your innocence, little girl.
No, it's been taken by Satan for a long time ago when he showed me what Yaoi was.
Hey! We already talked about it. Flabebe killed Satan. Remember? That was number 79. You have more back.
Bitch, listen to my singing!
You know, your metagame sucks, Satan. Anyway, so number 72, we got Samurai Champloo, which has an equally awesome soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate that the guy who comprised most of it has moved on, but
Rest in peace.
and when I say moved on, I mean dead, but it's still beautiful.
Rest in peace. Samurai Champloo is that other anime that came out at the same time as Cowboy Bebop, right? But it's not as popular.
No.
Or am I confusing?
Samurai Champloo came out way after. It's kind of by the same group, though. And so it kind of covers that era in Japan when Christianity and the West was still kind of coming over. And so it covers the story of Fu, who kind of enlists these two samurai to help her find her biological father and all of the issues that come along with that. So you end up getting the same kind of character development that you did with Bebop, where you kind of learn more about the two samurai. I guess they're technically Ronin because they don't have masters, that are helping guide her through the country at that point in time. And it covers a lot of the social issues that were prevalent at the time, and everything from gender relations to just how religion was seen, and just that whole interpersonal things are covered too. So it's got some really solid kick-ass action scenes. So if you liked the action scenes from Cowboy Bebop, then you're not going to be disappointed. If you like some good kind of chill funk soul music in the background, they got you there too, boo.
Yes.
And it's animated very well. It can be a little bit darker in some parts, like it's not always lighthearted, but if you liked Cowboy Bebop, which I mean most people do, and you also kind of enjoy things that might kind of be post-Sengoku era Japan, this could be right up your alley.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily something that you want to watch like if you're in a bad mood. It's it's kind of a serious watch, but it's got its moments.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, a lot of people that like Cowboy Bebop is like, if you like Cowboy Bebop, you have to watch Samurai Champloo. Because a lot of people even say it's better than Bebop. And or at least you'll like it at just the same. So I might watch that in the future. Number 71, Monster. I know Monster Musume, but I don't know Monster.
It's kind of, if I remember right, it's a psychological thriller kind of anime. It's one of those ones like Paranoia Agent, to the effect that it's not really quite like that, but if I remember right, it covers basically this guy kind of tracking down a murderer, and then you gradually get to figure out how much of a sociopath one of the characters is, and it just kind of covers the dark and bleakness of the human condition. So if you really enjoy kind of like heady stuff like Boogie Pop Phantom, and I think it's, let me find it really. Perfect Blue anime,
I
is
like
just kind of like the
Perfect Blue.
psychological aspects of it, then you might like Monster, because it's more grounded in reality. The atmosphere kind of reminds me of Witch Hunter Robin, which a lot of people probably don't remember, but It's more serious and covers more social issues. So I would recommend it, but it's probably not one of those things that you're gonna like want to watch unless you're kind of up for getting into it and kind of when you're watching Dexter, it's not as fun as Dexter kind of thing.
Oh. Okay. Can you read number 70, please?
That is slightly obscured from my screen.
Exactly why I wanted you to read it. What is that? Sekirai Yori?
Something in another forest. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's a Shinsekai Yori.
Oh.
So from the New World is what it should be.
Right.
So
No, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen this one, and it's probably because it's one of those. Let me give you a brief thing of the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
So, following a sudden outbreak of psychokinesis in 0.1 of the population, a rapid transformation swept the world. The godlike ability to manipulate matter remotely turned many power wielders to violence, inciting a long period of upheaval. So that's probably the main reason why I didn't personally watch this anime. Probably because it looked like another one of those, hey, everybody got special powers, look how fucked up the world is kind of animes.
All right.
And it involves an academy because, so many animes, and it's I don't know, it's a bias of mine. Whenever I see school-related anime and special powers, like, it takes a lot to kind of redeem the concept to be from there. Especially when you have magical girls kind of thrown into it, it looks like, too. Granted, the focus is so.
For me,
it's a bias of mine.
For me, it's a 50-50. Like, some anime with people with special abilities that are in the school are good, some are not. It's really a 50-50. It just really depends on the type of story. Because I can recall a few anime that are good with, like, students, and I can recall really shitty anime with students. K is one of the ones that I despise the most. Like, I absolutely hate that anime. It bored me. It literally bored me to death. And one that I like is, the one that's really hot and spicy right now, Boku no Hero, which I like. I think they did it well. So it really depends. It depends a lot for me. Number 69, and how convenient, because Meliodas is a fucking pervert. The 7 Deadly Sins. Fun fact: this is the last anime I watched as of this recording. I'm in the middle of watching, right now I'm in the middle of watching Mononoke and Ghost Stories. The 7 Deadly Sins is the last one I finished. So, I like the soundtrack. That's about it. Like, this anime is just, it's just a 5 out of 10 for me. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I can think of other, like, magical Celtic anime that are much better than this. I don't like the design very much. I don't like the character design very much. And can we just talk about Elizabeth? God, just this bitch, man. This bitch. She's so annoying. I don't like her at all. It's like, why are you here? Why couldn't it have been your, like, sister who's a lot cooler than you, the one that's a tomboy? Because she's just the fan service, and she there's like a big twist in the end, which I'm not gonna reveal, but honestly, the big twist is like, could have done with any other characters and it would have been just much better, because she's just paperweight. The two characters that I like are Gulther and King. That's about it. Deanne and Ban are okay, but Meliodas and Elizabeth and just the entire other, like, I honestly seem better. I just seem better. So, like, I didn't think very greatly of this one. What about you?
I haven't seen it, but I issue a challenge of the fans of it to try to persuade me to watch it.
Yeah.
Looking at the art style right now, it doesn't really look like something I would be interested in. It's kind of like if Dragon Ball's artist had like a one night stand with the guy who drew One Piece.
Yes.
And then like they let like a standard deviant art person come in and do the colored pictures afterwards. Like,
exactly.
And what's up with the Sin of Pride's pedo stash?
Oh!
He's trying so hard to be Armstrong, I think, from Full Metal. I think his name was Armstrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Such a yeah.
No,
He looks like Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, but
he doesn't
like
have that. He doesn't have that facial hair for long. Trust me, he has it for like 2 seconds and then he shaves it off.
So here's what I would have probably preferred to have seen with this, right? Because I'm like artsy fartsy and stuff. So there was a poem written like back in the Victorian, I think, about like the 7 sins. It's like, and the main sin of pride was represented by this, you know, gorgeous fairy princess, and like rest of them are described in extreme detail. Make me that anime, not this fucking derivative bullshit, and maybe we'll talk.
Well, speaking of fairy princess, actually the sin of sloth is a fairy.
Yeah, I don't mean gay people, so let's move on.
And the actual woman sister that he has is like the significant other of pride. So
I'm totally cool with gay people for your fans, by the way. My brother's gay. I'm just being mean right now.
Yeah. No, but I
being
agree.
risky.
Like the art for this is just, yeah. Like I know a lot of, I have a lot of fans that love this anime, and I watched it and I was like, why though? There's so many other anime that done this and they done it better. So I honestly don't get the appeal.
Yeah, if you like this shitty art style, look at One Piece and you'll have a lot more to keep you entertained.
Lol. Okay, number 68, Bacano. Okay, an actual cop mystery detective anime that I like. Bacano to me was a masterpiece. Well, maybe not a masterpiece. I don't really claim anything as a masterpiece, but it was good. I liked it more than Durarara, which is by the same creator. Bacano, especially because Bacano was a lot shorter, and I feel like Durarara was stretched out way too long. Completely different story, of course. Bacano is one of those stories that has a shit ton of characters. So it's like Game of Thrones, like sometimes you forget who the fuck is who. But the bright side, they have the convenience opening, which basically tells you which character is who every single time, and with nice jazzy music to accompany it. So GG creators. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, Bacano was good. If you like detective stories, watch Bacano. It's definitely recommend for me. Especially because I'm somebody who does not enjoy detective stuff that much, but I actually enjoyed Bacano. I heard that this is one of the few animes that actually has a really good subs. So, sub or dub, both are good. Check it out. Do you have any thoughts?
I haven't seen it, but I have heard nothing but good things about it. And the little bit I have seen looks promising, so it might be on my list of, you know, when I'm not studying so much to watch, but it'll be a commitment, and I'm afraid of that right now.
It's just 18 episodes. It's not too long.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
That's
Anyway,
all it
so number
takes.
66. Well, it's like when they say just the tip, right? You know, it's like the tip is the most dangerous part.
Yeah.
Anyway, so number 66. It's Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
We skipped.
Do not lose
67.
the lolly dragon.
We didn't do 60.
Bungo. No, we're gonna talk about Bungo Stray Dogs. Come on, no, just.
We're not talking about it?
I haven't seen it, but it's really good, from what I've gathered.
Oh yeah,
so
same,
if you like
same
action
thing.
and shonen shit.
Literally same
Yeah.
thing. So
Hence 66. Not that we don't think it's cool, guys, but you know,
Yeah.
we haven't seen it, and
It's on my list.
Supposedly good.
Okay.
Good action. Good job, bro.
Yes. 66, the Dragon Maid, Kobayashi, Miss, whatnot. So, this was a really big thing that came out this year. Like, when it first...
It's not like it had much competition, though.
Yeah. Savage Burn, son! Like, when it first came out, I was like, another slice of life. What is this special? They're dragons now? I don't want to watch this. So I skipped this one, but apparently it blew the internet's mind. And I still don't want to watch it. Because when I decide that I don't want to watch a slice of life, I normally stick to it. Because it's slice of life. Like, it's just that genre of cute girls doing cute things. Like, if I need some cute girls doing cute things, sure, I'll watch it. But right now, I'm not in the mood for that. I want to watch some actual, like, good shit with story. But then you have these dragons that are maids, and I'm like, okay,
Well, it's
internet.
actually not how that works at all, though. Like,
Okay.
there's Mish Kobayashi's Dragon's Maid is, I mean, it's kind of it sounds like a stupid premise, right? And I was kind of in the same camp of, this sounds like some more like lame ass harem, like fan servicey bullshit. Fuck that. And then I started watching it, and a lot more of kind of, so you have Kobayashi, who is this Christmas cake, which is, you know, the term often used in Japan for like women over the age of 25, woman who is, I guess she's probably asexual, right? Like, she doesn't really feel attraction towards anything in that way. She just works and goes home and goes to bed.
Okay.
And maybe occasionally calls her parents every now and then. And one drunken night, she's drinking to try to not think about her issues, and she runs across this huge fucking dragon with a gigantic sword in it. And the sword can only be pulled out by a god, yet Kobayashi manages to pull it the hell out because she's an atheist and just gives zero fucks.
Okay.
So she and the dragon start talking, and they both get drunk. And this is kind of a spoiler, so but everybody's pretty much well seen it. If not, this doesn't ruin everything for you.
Okay.
And they start sharing their issues. And the dragon has nowhere else to go. And so Kobayashi kind of drunkenly jokes that she should become her maid and come live with her. And the dragon's a little bit lonely because the world she just came from tried to kill her, and every other world thinks that they're gigantic monsters and beasts. And so this one person has, you know, shared a drink with her and a couple of laughs. So, you know, hey, you know, I really click with this person. So the series starts off with her showing up at Kobayashi's house to take her up on the offer on being her maid. You know, bear in mind, of course, that dragons are quasi-immortal, so they live forever. So this would be like a flash of an eye for her. So you end up getting some of the dynamics between how our reality doesn't have that prejudice against dragons to that regard, and kind of the family they start to build and the dynamic between them. And then, you know, you start finding out that who has other dragon friends who are worried about her and wondering where she is because they heard she died. And so they start showing up in this reality as well and decide to kind of hang out and try to make friends. And it also covers some of Japanese otaku culture to an extent. So some of kind of like the same things from Lucky Star, where you kind of get like a screenshot of what life is like for an otaku today, is one of them. And it kind of covers like, there's more than just romantic love, right? There can be companionship and friendship and family without you necessarily wanting to bone somebody, and learning how to communicate and be honest with yourself, and how to be, you know, kind and genuine to people, and the importance of that. So it's not just like a slice of life in that regard. It's more of a study of what really makes a family, because by the end you have Toru and Kobayashi and his favorite little dragon Lolly, and, you know, they're basically like a mom, a dad, and a child. And it's actually really endearing and cute. And like the episode, like the entire series is them going to go visit her family, you know, so they can kind of like enjoy the culture even more. So it's really, really worth a watch if you want some feels and some cute scenes. Like if you enjoyed Usagi Drop or Sweetness and Lightning, you'll probably like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid as well.
Oh, if you put it like that makes the anime sound a little more appealing.
Yeah, it's not just fan service shit.
Okay. I might watch it in the distant future, just like I promised myself that I would watch FMA Brotherhood in the distant future. So, because there's just so much other things that I want to watch. But if I ever feel like watching little slice of Laifu, I'm gonna go for that one.
There's some really good action scenes in that too, because there's like happen like as much as it would in a shonen anime. But if you just like want to see some just like absolutely kick-ass like fighting scenes with like huge explosions and stuff, Kobayashi's got some of that. So, you know, don't sell it short. It's got some action in it too.
Oh, okay. That's good. So going for my dreaded number 65, Code Geass. I'll be blunt. I hate
season
Code
2.
Geass. I hate Code Geass. I fucking hate it. The animation it creeps me the fuck out. They have too much Pizza Hut commercialism. Fight me. I don't like this anime. I'm sorry, internet. I know everybody praises Code Geass like a fucking Gundam Jesus, but I don't like it. I watched the entirety of season 1. Like, I forced myself to watch it. I watched 5 episodes of season 2. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I don't understand why everybody loves this anime. I don't understand why everybody treats this anime like it's fucking Jesus. I hate it. I think it's boring as all hell. It's just one of those things. I have an unpopular opinion. I'm sorry. I can't speak good about it.
It's okay. I personally like it, but I think the reason most people enjoy it is because of the end. Let's be honest. Yeah. It's not only the fact that that it's all been his plan from the start, and the continuity leads up to that. So, I mean, let's compare him to somebody like Shinji from, you know, Evangelion, right? Like, he's not just a helpless person whining about how unfair it is and how he wants to go to school and masturbate, right? Like, he takes an active role in changing his world,
Right.
and he's willing to become the ultimate evil so everybody can fight against him and then find a temporary peace. You
Yeah,
know,
but
that's
so
his
does-
chaos, basically.
So does Light fucking Yagami, and he's like 500 times better than
No.
Zero.
Here's the difference between him and Light, though. Like, Light
Coca-Cola Light, Coca-Cola
Light
Zero.
wanted to be seen as a god, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, he was kind of unseen, but he wanted to make that rule up for himself, partially for selfish reasons. It started off as like a noble intention, but then his narcissism and vanity took over, which Lelouch has some of that too, but Lelouch ultimately is willing to, you know, sacrifice himself so everybody else can be happy. It's kind of that whole collectivist mentality, whereas eventually Light, like, I don't know, he's still narcissistic, which is part of the appeal of that character, right? Like, that's part of who he is. And they're different. Like, I don't know if you can necessarily compare those two to that regard, but as far as like
people
big
compare
mecha
them.
anime goes, this is pretty decent.
Honestly, I disagree with you, but like, we could actually make an entire different podcast talking about why I don't like Code Geass. We could make an entirely different podcast talking about why Neon Genesis Evangelion in your eyes is cancer. So I think we'll leave it there. My opinion, you don't
Yeah.
like it. Yours is, it's okay. Okay, number 64, Sailor Moon. I've never
If you-
watched this, but god damn it, everybody tells me to, and I just look at the quantity of episodes and I'm just having an existential crisis. Like, you know, I went through One Piece. Maybe in like 5 years I can go through another one, but not today.
I don't think you necessarily even have to really do that with, it depends upon which Sailor Moon you're watching. Like, if you're watching like the old series, well, I mean, they were based upon a comic, right?
Mhm.
So, the thing about it is that a lot of it's kind of repetitive. Now, the comic was a lot more rich because it had a lot more plot and more characters that were actually brought over to the anime that they showed Japan back in the day, right? But the Sailor Moon Crystal adaptation's a little bit closer to the manga. So if you were going to start, I might recommend Crystal with the kind of like subtext of, you know, it's closer to the manga, but that may or may not be for you. But it's kind of also like Dragon Ball as well, that it's very repetitive, right? It's kind of the monster of the day show.
Like,
And there's some overarching plot, but it's not I mean, it's for children. So
like Detective Conan repetitive.
yeah. I guess like Detective Conan or even like Pokemon. Like, you know, you have like the one monster / trial of that show, and then it's over. And there's some continuance of plot that'll kind of lead you through the season, but it starts off with Usagi getting her powers, you know, meeting the other scouts, and like at the end of every season and every single movie, everybody dies, and then friendship brings them back. Like, it is one of the animes that's worst, for the hero kills herself constantly, but, you know, death never seems to conquer her, kind of thing.
Like Fairy Tail, kind of.
I mean, Fairy Tail probably borrowed heavily from Sailor Moon in that regard.
I can see that.
Because I mean, Goku does the same thing in Dragon Ball too, and like even Bleach suffers from that. Like, I used to joke that Bleach was like, everybody gets kidnapped once in this anime, which I don't know if that happens in the manga as well. But the Sailor Moon manga was a little darker and deeper, but the anime itself is kind of light. The movies you can watch as standalones. I would recommend maybe just like watching 1 or 2 of the movies just to get the feel for it. But it's, you know, very much your, you know, here's your archetypal characters with all of their tropes. And Serena's the bigwig. Everybody else dies to protect her. Then she gives herself to bring them back. And then the power of their love brings her back. And then everybody's happy at the end.
Yay.
That's, yeah. Every end of the series. Now it gets a little bit darker, like in the very like Superstars thing, but it's still like, it's literally it. You know how Soul Eater ends with like the hug, you know, basically. Actually, it's a punch, but like all the animes that end with like hugging it out, I can blame and trace back to Sailor Moon, because like the entire first series ends with like the naked hug of, it's okay, you're hurting, I love you, it'll be fine, and then magical light shoots everywhere.
Sorry.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fucking fine.
Everything's
Chill
gonna
the
be
fuck out.
deja vu.
Oh, I feel light in my soul now, and then everything's fixed. So I trace a lot of that back to Sailor Moon. So
It's a classic.
Yeah, you can blame Sailor Moon for that trope.
It's a classic with a K. And speaking of K, number 63, K-On!
Do you like Mo? Do you like girls playing instruments? Do you like fan servicey girls playing instruments? Then we've got you.
Moe fan service, because there's nothing sexual on K-On.
Yeah, but that's fan service of its own. Just cute, innocent girls being cute and innocent.
This basically started the genre of cute girls doing cute things, so you can thank
Playing
K-On
music,
for that.
especially.
Yeah. I watched the whole thing. I did, like, in my youth. I did enjoy it, because it was kawaii desu. So, yeah. Number 62, Nichijou. I liked Lucky Star better because Lucky Star actually distracted me and got me entertained. But Nichijou is like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I watched 3 episodes, I didn't smile once. No.
The thing you have to give for Nichijou, though, is like the intensity of the animation. Like, they could have just filmed it with like a low budget, not given a crap style that like every single other slice of life thing does. But man, like the small little inconveniences of life that get turned into like these life or death battles are just amazing. Like, I don't know, I like that about it. The animation, the technical aspects of the animation, I think, are probably one of the best parts of that.
That's actually the reason why I don't like it. They make a big deal out of things that are just dumb. For example, episode 1 is like a sausage flies away from her chopsticks or something, and then it goes all around the room like Matrix style, and then she eats it or something like that. And it's like, okay, so that's your comedy, just making a big deal out of dumb little things like that. And that's exactly the reason why I don't like it. That's why. Because it's my ordinary life. You're making they're making ordinary things dramatic. So it's like,
You've never done that in your own head, though? Like, you've never had, like, that epic fucking, you know, fight with, like, a bar of soap or, you know, just... I know, I do that in my head, so it's relatable to me. So
I guess maybe if you say it's relatable to you, maybe that's why this anime is popular, because I can't really say I make drama out of My ordinary life.
Yeah, we're gonna disagree with that, but you I'm not gonna make this personal. I love you.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Seriously, like next time, like you're trying to like open a jar of pickles or something, though, find like the most dramatic, dank ass music you can find and blare it, and just be like, "They're so cool." Like you're trying to open the pickles. It'll take on like a whole other level, like a whole other dimension of awesome. Do it.
I'm just gonna put the Death Note, Kira killing themes like.
Oh yeah, please.
Sancho!
Yeah, you fucking hypocrite. Look at this. There's the whole scene in Death Note where Light's like, I'll take a potato chip and eat it. Crunch. Don't tell me that didn't make you laugh and take you out of the scene because it was so fucking ridiculous. That was basically some Michi Cho shit right there.
Okay.
So,
But
yeah.
it's okay if you do it once, but doing it over and over and over, and that's basically the premise of your show. It's like, okay, I get it. Normal life is boring, so we're gonna dramatize it. Ha ha ha, Lamau. Can I go watch something better now? That's how I feel. Like, it's cool if you
Whatever
like
you
that
have
shit,
to do
I
to stand out.
I mean, it's cool if you like Nichijou, I respect. Like, good for you, but it's boring to me. Okay, number 61, Blue Exorcist. I don't really have a lot to say about this anime. I watched it, I liked it, I moved on, basically, because I didn't even watch season 2, because it's like, I watched Blue Exorcist a very long time ago, and at the time, it was just one of those anime that when you watch the time, you have very intense emotions for it, but then after time goes by, you're just like, it's okay, I liked it, and then season 2 comes along, it's like, I don't want to watch season 2. So I did like Blue Exorcist. Think it's fine. It's a good anime, but I'm not passionate about it.
I don't know enough about it to really pass judgment, but I have seen clips of the two-tailed cat thing crying, and that broke my heart. So,
Oh yeah.
for some
Kudo
reason, I
is-
get like a Trinity blood feel from it, like a Bungo Stray Dogs meets like Trinity blood, but that's probably not right at all.
Kudo is actually a sweet cinnamon roll that needs to be protected. So I get your feels, and I do like the main character. I think his name is Rin. Right now I don't remember, but the main twin, I think his name is Rin. But I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I don't know. He was waifu material back then, and he's still waifu material, but just not my waifu material. I'd still rather smash Sebastian Michaelis instead of Rin. So moving on. Number 60, Love Life. Again, basically K-On, but Japan treats it like a fucking religion. On the original top 100 list, this was like almost number 1. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding.
I don't know. It always amuses me that like I think this anime like it has its roots in like a game that was like originally like a Bishoujo game where you could
Yes.
not only like help build the girl up, but you could also like force her into sex acts to like help
Oh,
her
wow.
further her career. Like I don't know if that was this game, but there's a lot of games that started off as like this whole like princess maker and stuff like that, where you have this cute little girl who you have to help make successful, but everything comes at a cost kind of thing. And so it kind of starts off as like this whole anime slash Bishoujo game thing. So you have like your different same-faced hotties with slightly different hairstyles and slightly different tropey personalities, including the variations of twin tails. And they all have their personalities, and you're supposed to help them grow. And it basically is the appeal of all of that in a show, showing cute girls being cute and becoming famous. And it's like America Idol versus your typical hentai game. So
Yes.
I can see the appeal. It's not for me, but I'm sure the music's great, and I'm sure it's cute for what it is, just not my thing.
Yeah, it's just idols doing cute things. Just girls that have the dreams to become little idols, and that's pretty much it. And a lot of otaku in Japan love Love Live, and when you think about it, it's in a way it's kind of creepy how much they love Love Live. So I don't want to think about it
Hey.
anymore.
2D over 3D.
Oh
Tutti
god.
will never betray you.
Oh god, why? Just thinking about it, just like okay, I get it, but Japan, my otaku fams in Japan, your birth rate, man. Look at that birth rate. It's dropping hot, man, and it's not dropping hot in a good way. Please go make some babies. I'll make a baby with a Japanese guy.
I'll have
you
to
know what I'm
find.
saying?
There's like this one anime they actually made a while back that's like explicitly made to like encourage people to like. It's like a sex ed video
Oh wow.
on how to like date in couples. I'll have to find it because Takun and I watched it early in our relationship.
Oh god.
Oh god, we'll have to review it at some point. But
Alright,
anyway, continue
sure.
on, my love.
Okay, so number 59, Anohana. I cry every time. Every time. Every time. The end. I watched this with 2 friends of mine who don't watch anime. Like, it was kind of like a slumber party, but only one of them slept at my house. And we watched the whole thing beginning to end, and goddamn, I cried like a little bitch by the end. My friends are just staring at me like some weirdo, and they're like, Adara, it's just anime. And I just looked at them in anger and like, it's not just anime! They're real! Their emotions are real! The way they made me feel was real, god damn it. It's, don't just treat it like some fictional thing, it made me feel! You don't understand, man! You don't understand! But like, they were unfazed and I was like sobbing my ass off. It's like, don't you guys have a soul? And they're like, they're not real. Why would I cry about this? And I'm like, bitch, you never see Marley and me? You didn't cry when he died? Oh yeah, but it's a cute puppy. Yeah, but that's fictional. And they're like, yeah, but they're also like real people. If they're real people, yeah, but they're just cartoons. And I'm just like, we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry. Get away from me. Like, basically, yeah. A long story short, it's about a little girl who died when she was young, and her friends are trying to send her to send her to heaven. Basically, send her to move on. And Jesus Christ, man, it's just so many feels, so many. Have you seen it?
I've, oh god, I'm gonna have another unpopular opinion here.
Oh.
I watched one episode and was bored as fuck, and then I just went ahead and found some clips of the ending.
Oh.
So, it's really interesting as a character study, except for the fact that the characters are written in a way that they're supposed to be unlikable people to show how they've grown apart from when they were all childhood friends hanging out together. And she starts haunting, of course, like her disenfranchised, unhappy old crush who, like, instead of being like the brave and daring boy that he used to be, is just, life has just beat the ever-loving shit out of him and he's just given up on everything. And the rest of her friends have kind of, like it happens with everybody in elementary school, like your friends kind of move away, they join different cliques, and they just, you know, you fall apart. And she tries to bring them all back together, and either, I don't know, I don't like depressing anime to begin with because I've had a hard life, and the last thing I want to do is to plug in for 12 episodes and just be reminded of how miserable my existence is before I inevitably die. So, yeah, I didn't like the characters. Nothing about it resonated to me. I found the girl to be a little bit too pure, too innocent, and too perfect, and kind of tropey, which is, you know, that term I throw about so much, but it wasn't for me. I see why people like it, especially when you're young and it really, really relates to you and before you have a lot of life experience, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't in the mood for the feels at the time, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. To me, it really depends on how sad it is, on like what kind of sad anime it is, because there are like sad anime that is beautiful sadness, and then there's sad anime that actually makes you feel like shit. For example, I don't remember if it was this year or last year, there's this anime that came out called, God, I can't remember the name.
Well, there's like something like Grave of the Fireflies or Fireflies,
Yeah.
right? Where it's just like one continual movie to just make you feel like shit. Like
No.
it's just nothing but depression porn, just misery porn is basically the like. Hey, do you just want to fucking kill yourself and drink yourself into an oblivion?
Oh god.
Well, watch this. Isn't this just fucking sad? Look at their plight, you ungrateful little shits. That's basically that anime, in my opinion, in a nutshell. Because that's it kind of goes into the mindset of the people who made it, though. Too, it's like you had like high crime and rebelliousness in Japan in like the 1980s, which is why you see so many thugs and gangsters and stuff depicted at that time, and so many dystopian things shown because it was a big problem then and post-war. And so a lot of older people, you know, remembered what it was like for them, you know, having to deal with times of want and famine and, you know, just, you know, you guys have had everything handed to you, you ungrateful little bastards, you know, watch this and shut up. So
Yeah.
kind of that whole thing. Anohana is not so much that, it's just more of a ennui with life in general right now, which is pretty common. I mean, how many animes do you find today that just kind of focus on the outsider otaku or the disenfranchised but good intentioned main character who's just numb but a decent person, just they're just dead to the world and feel disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I get that. I mean, but in my case, like, I don't feel like shit when I watch these. I don't feel bad about myself. I don't know. It's just something. How do I explain it? When I watch movies like Grave of the Fireflies and Wolf Children, because I think there are different types of sad anime. There are sad anime that make you feel alive. There are sad anime that make you feel grateful. There's sad anime that just gives you an emotional connection to something. And I feel like Anohana is one of those things. You just emotionally connect to something. And sure, you're crying, you're suffering, but while you're crying and suffering, you're also understanding and letting out a lot of things that are inside while you cry, for example. And I feel like being in touch with yourself, I think these anime help you feel in touch with yourself emotionally, and maybe even feel in touch and connect with other people.
all I heard was touch yourself and
Why do you always have to turn something emotional pervert, man? I was trying to make a feelsy point. The point
I know
is-
you were.
You pervert. You ruined my statement with your perverted mind. Senpai, you have to stop.
You know what my favorite depression anime is?
Boku no
Sayonara
Pico?
Zetsubo Sensei. When I
Oh,
feel
okay.
depressed and miserable, I just watch Sensei being in despair.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, so I can't really say anything about it. But like, yeah, that's why I like sad anime. It makes me connect emotionally to something, and it makes me feel like I'm not alone, and it makes me, you know, it just makes me feel a lot of things. It makes me feel grateful for what I have. Instead of feeling like bad for myself, it just makes me feel grateful for what I have. It doesn't feel like, oh, be grateful for what you have, you little shit, because these people go through worse. I don't think about it like that. It's more like, thank you, God, for the life I've been given, or spaghetti monster if you're an atheist. So that's why I like this.
That's Possibilian.
Whatever. So that's why I like this kind of anime, the anime that are emotional. And to me, that was Anohana, and others that are gonna come up. And I still can't remember. It's that, but there are also anime that are sad to make you feel like that have that purpose to make you feel like shit. But I don't think Anohana is one of them. Anime that make you feel like shit. I will remember the name. I can't remember the fucking name. Is this anime that came out last year? Where this guy and this girl, like, they like other people, but they are with each other just for sexual pleasure and like
It's not Love and no, it's not Love and Lies. It's I know what you're talking about.
Oh God, what's the name of that bitch? Scum's Wish! There.
Yeah, Scum's Wish.
There
Yeah.
we go. Finally, yeah, Scum's Wish. Now that's the kind of set anime that I don't like, cause that's kind of the set anime that actually makes you feel like shit for the sake of making you feel like shit, and you don't really
Or
get
what
anything
emote.
from it. Or something
What
like
emote.
School Days. School Days just filled me with anger and
Well, I mean, it
dread.
was based on a hentai game to begin with, and you know, everybody wants that esteemed harem ending, right? And nothing's better than when that harem ending goes wrong and a bitch got to cut a bitch. Just saying.
Oh god, no, and like I just felt so much anger. Like basically when I finished School Days, I was laughing like Kira. Like that was like the red eyes and everything, that was me. Like I hate School Days. But like, yeah, let's move on. Let's not stay too much on
Yeah.
that.
I don't remember where we were at.
Number 58, Inuyasha.
Inuyasha! Kagome!
Sit down, bitch! Boom! So yeah, Inuyasha classic, 175 episodes of old classic goodness. I liked it. Fuck
Full of
Kikyo, though.
spousal abuse and just repeatedly shouting the same thing. But then again, it's Rumiko Takahashi, so I'm not really surprised, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is right up her alley.
Oh god.
So we have a will they won't you romance that manages to stretch out over too fucking long of a season.
It's the anime that
we
began the
have-
furries. It's the anime that started the furry fetish.
That was before, man. Like Lum. Like just look back. It goes even before Inuyasha. But I'm gonna blame Inuyasha and maybe Vampire Hunter D for the RP people who are always like, I'm gonna play like a half demon, half angel, half kangaroo, half kitsune. I
Oh god.
hate those people.
Little mom.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. It's like a good look at like take on Japanese mythology and mythological creatures for sure. Has to have like Kagome has her moments where she's a really good, strong female protagonist. Like there's this one scene where she's about to use like her hairspray as like a blowtorch in like one of the earlier episodes.
Mhm.
But it's really sad because like we just see her turn into like just an object to be pushed around, but she's like an object who gets to abuse her spouse too. Like it's I don't know, it's
Kagome?
yeah, Kagame.
Yeah.
She I mean, she does like the thing with like the sit for Inuyasha where he has no control over it, and it obviously like hurts him and is uncomfortable, which he is. I don't know. It's an abusive, unhealthy relationship, and I don't know. Just give me the episode that shows the adventures of Shippo after all of that, or maybe like the adventures of Sesshomaru and Rin to see what happened to them. Right?
Lol.
Like, where's the like Inuyasha in the current timeline when Sesshomaru is like still alive and like running a successful business but pretending to be a human, right? Give me that anime now.
That went too far. And I was trying to imitate a little girl. God damn it, that makes it worse.
Although it what's that one? I don't know. I'm gonna shut up because I don't remember the name of the anime right now. But
Yeah.
like, there's another anime I think that kind of does the concept of Inuyasha better. That's more recent. I think it's the one where the into the goddess.
I don't know.
It's Kagami no Kiss.
No, I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it. Also, fuck Kikyo, am I right? Like, fuck that bitch.
It's not her fault.
It's her fault.
She should have been left to die, though.
Yeah, she should. Why couldn't she have been left dead? Honestly, she pisses me off. Like, goddamn, I hate her. Like, it used to be more intense back then, but god, fuck Kikyo. Number 57, Wolf Children. Just like Anohana is one of those feel things. I very much love this movie. I remember watching it at like 3 in the morning and crying my eyes out. I actually woke up my mom. My mom was like, "Bitch, the fuck are you crying for?" And I'm like, I'm basically sounding like that retarded kid from Ghost Stories. I'm like, and my mom is like, "God damn it, he fucking woke me up." And it was ironic because the movie is about a mom who's sacrificed, and it's like, Mom, no, don't be mad at me right now. But yeah. It's a feels movie. Number 56, Howl's Moving Castle. I was very surprised to see this on the list. Like,
Why?
very.
It's like a classic. It's,
Yeah, sure,
um,
it's a classic, but here's the thing. There's not a lot of Ghibli films that are here. Not even Totoro is here, not even Kiki is here. So apparently Howl's Moving Castle is more popular than those two, which really surprised me. I think there's only like 3 Ghibli films in this, and I voted for one of them. So I don't
Well,
know. I imagined more.
we got. Well, I'm not gonna give anything away. I'm trying to count them right now. So
Yeah.
I've seen 2 so far.
Yeah.
Once again, I think there's 3.
Yeah.
On the third one. Once again, I think this kind of goes back to the age and stuff and of the people watching it, right? And like the recency, like out of sight, out of mind, right? Like you could probably show somebody like, "Hey, do you like My Neighbor Totoro?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I fucking love that anime." But it's not one that maybe comes to mind a particular audience, although I'm sure it probably featured more heavily in the one from Japan because there's just, it's so much more in the culture.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
oh, and I remember the name of that other anime. It was Kami-sama Kiss.
Oh.
That's basically Inuyasha, but better, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but
Kami-sama
I think it does a
Kiss.
better job of. Yeah, it shows a
Inuyasha.
better. It gives you a proper ending. The characters aren't as flashed out, and there's not nearly as much action as there is in Inuyasha. But it does I think, a better job of focusing in on the love story and. So anyway, we're talking about Howl's Moving Castle though. So,
Yeah. It's not my favorite Ghibli film, but I guess it's a lot more memorable than I thought.
I think a
it
lot
was.
of people probably relate to the heroine a lot more in that because she's old. It features a love story in a fantastical setting, and there's a war, and it's got that whole Victorian feel to it, with like a lot of Studio Ghibli movies have.
Right.
Well, not necessarily all of them, but it's probably it was in the childhood, I think, in a lot of people who were probably answering this survey, so they have fond memories of it. Not, like Kiki or Totoro, which might have been like my generation more so. So once again, this is more of a dating the probably like 13 to early 20-year-old fans that the anime guy has.
Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about our last 5. This podcast has been going on for too long. Like 2 hours of conversation. We need to rest.
Tired of me.
Yeah. I mean, I can go on forever, but I need a hydrate or something. I should have gotten a bottle of water. God damn it. Oh well. Oh my god, I can't believe this is on the list. 55 is High School DD. Really? Really, fams? Why though? Why? I mean, okay.
Oh, you know why. I've got 2 letters for you as to why. D and D, baby. It's right there in the title, right?
But it's like...
I mean, there's your typical harem anime with big-tittied, beautiful women, like a crazy vampire princess, a guy with special powers. All
demon.
the bitches love him,
demon.
and fighting shit, and yeah. So I mean, same difference in the way they treat it. It doesn't really matter, but it's about the titties. It is an action-filled
always about the
harem
titties.
anime with a hot bitch and the
A lot
other
of hot
bitches that
bitches.
also with her.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of same. I don't know. I used to get this in High School of the Dead accused all the time because I just saw like big titties and action, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen some of them both now and have formed an opinion and can honestly say that
High School
I don't
DD
know.
has more story, and it's better than
yeah.
High School of the Dead. Because High School
I
of
mean,
the
I think
Dead,
they're both.
High School of the Dead didn't even have a second season. They kept
I think
planning
it was
and
based on
canceling.
a light novel too. It's
Yeah.
another one of those light novel turn anime things,
Right.
which is so common now.
Like, I don't even want to see them titties on my face right now, man. Number 54, Food Wars.
Love this anime. Oh god, we refer to it as food porn.
Oh
Because
yeah, I can
Basically is.
I love food. I do, especially in anime because it looks fucking delicious. It even looks better in anime than in real life. I haven't seen it yet, but I will see it. So,
It's really cool. It takes a lot of elements from like your typical shonen anime.
Does Gordon
and-
Ramsay make an appearance?
It's even better. Like Gordon Ramsay, I don't know. It depends on. Are we talking about like UK Gordon Ramsay or like US? Because like he really kicked it up a notch for the US audiences.
Really?
But you have this spunky kid whose dad is like this world famous chef who's kind of like a wandering hermit of just like I can cook like a fucking god, but he never really got appreciated in his time. And I think it's based upon a light novel as well. Or I know it's based on a manga, but anyway, so this kid's been growing up working at his dad's diner his entire life, right?
Right.
And so he can never beat his dad. And eventually, his dad decides to close up shop and is like, "Well, you're gonna go to this school." And the kid's like, "No, I don't want to fucking do that. Well, if you can beat me, we'll do this." And so I don't know if it's been a while since I've seen the first episode. Long story short, he ends up going to this academy that's like your typical take on like the the student council runs every damn thing kind of school, and everything is just like the most intense battle ever because it's a fucking shonen anime, right, at its very core. But instead of throwing punches and martial arts and energy blasts and stuff like what you'd get like in, Boku no Hero Academia or whatever it's called, or, the ninja techniques that you'd get in Naruto, you have food, right? The food is its thing. And so you'll usually have like your dish of the episode or the battle of the episode. And it's got like a lot of cliffhangers and it's really good at keeping the action up and just kind of like really showing you the intensity and the beauty of food and the many ways that you can kind of enjoy it. Although my one complaint would be that the main hero tends to use egg dishes a lot and gets a lot of cop-out wins.
Oh wow.
Because power of plot, in my opinion. But it will make you hungry. It is not a show that you should ever sit down to this show with McDonald's. You're gonna end up so pissed off and then just like hating yourself afterwards.
Lamau.
So get like a really good meal when you're watching it because it's either going to make you want to cook or it's going to make you want to eat. Like it looks delicious.
I can imagine.
Oh god, amazing.
All right.
Anyway,
so number 53, Mononoke Hime, or known as Princess
Mononoke.
This is my I'm sorry fams out there, this is my least favorite Ghibli film. I don't like this Ghibli film. Like, I don't, this is one of those things where I also don't get why people love so much, because personally, I don't like Princess Mononoke. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. It's like, save the forest, yay! It's like, okay. I'm just so tired of the save the forest trope that it's like,
I liked it better when it was not of the wind, just saying.
Nausicaa? Yeah. I think I
You're
guess I could say
as well and older.
I think I could say Nausicaa's better than Mononoke in my opinion. I think I liked it a little more, but it's still like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Okay, coming in for something good. 52, Bakemonogatari. So I had a struggle with this, with the Monogatari, because I wanted to put the Monogatari series on my top 5, but the thing about the Monogatari series is it's just so many seasons, and I'm just like, it's like, what is your favorite anime season? Bakemonogatari. No, it's like Monogatari. Okay, but which one? We have Kuro, we have Bake. I'm like Monogatari. Oh, so Monogatari second. Mono-fucking Gatari, all of it. It's like, why can't we just vote for the whole thing? Because Monogatari, I love Monogatari as a whole. I don't love it as separate seasons. So I couldn't even put Monogatari series in the votings because I had to choose specifically which Monogatari I like. And it's like, dude, I like the Monogatari series. I like everything in the Monogatari world. But I can't vote for everything because they have so many seasons. So, like, honestly, the Monogatari series is in my top 5. But not as Bake, not as second season. I like the Monogatari series as a whole.
Yeah, see, we're different there because I don't know. Maybe I just haven't seen enough of it, but it struck me as one of those animes that was like trying too hard. It's got a very unique and beautiful visual style, but it seemed too hard, like it was trying to be artsy to me, like at first. Maybe I should really give it another try, but I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And there's so many like scenes of like just weird, uncomfortable sexual things happening in it that it's kind of like it borders on the realm of fan service bullshit to me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there were some great plot points they had too. It's like because I only got as far as like the story with like the girl who had like the crab spirit or whatever who stole her weight,
which is part
which
of
I think is like the main character and love interest thing. But yeah, I didn't really get much beyond that because I tried the 3-episode test on it and like I was still like I don't really know if I like this or not.
Yeah,
It's like eating like if you have seaweed, right, and you're eating it on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's not necessarily bad, but you don't know if it really belongs there or not.
right.
So
I understand that vision of it because in the beginning I also had very mixed feelings of it because I even have mixed feelings for the ecchi stuff because in this case I don't know if it both fits and it doesn't fit, but like Bakemonogatari, the Monogatari series in general is just that I embrace it with everything it is and everything it has. Because I'm obsessed with Ararai Koyomi, the main protagonist, even though he is a pervert, and even though he has a thing for his sisters, kind of. Like, sometimes you're just like, he's like, lol, I'm just kidding, but sometimes it gets a little weird. But I don't know why, I don't know why I have this weird obsession with the Monogatari series. Like, it's just so hard to explain to me. It's just, I can't put it to words. But
because you're weeaboo trash, that's why.
I'm not a weeaboo trash. You're a weeaboo trash. It's just so hard to express my emotions for this anime. I just like it. Period. I don't like it. I love this, the Monogatari series, and I think the art, like, I don't know, it just reminds me of humanity. It just reminds me of humanity's values. I don't know, it feels humane. It feels human to me. Even though it's full of vampires, it just feels, something just feels human about it. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just love the Monogatari. Okay, coming in number 51, Erased. So, I have an unpopular opinion on this anime. A lot of people hate the ending. I honestly don't think it's that bad. I think the ending is fine the way it is. I think most people hate it because they had like a big expectation for the ending. They think the ending was cheap. But honestly, I think the anime is fine. I liked this anime. I liked it, everything. I think it's fine.
I'm guessing it has an unhappy ending. Is that it? Like, for spoilers, just look away now. And
It doesn't have an unhappy ending, but it's not as great as everybody wanted the ending to be. So you haven't seen it. I'm surprised. This was a very popular anime.
Well, here's my story with this, right? So with Bokadake ga Inai Machi, or Erased, I guess is the common name for it. I got to see like 1 or 2 episodes, but then like I was having a really tough time. Like I was dealing with, it kind of came out like
At the wrong
6
time.
months or so. It was about 6 months after my mom died, right? So that's not a time when you want to watch dark things.
Right.
And I don't know, it was too, like, Bakemonogatari came out around the same time.
Right.
And I was just like, I can't do this intense, serious stuff right now. I want comedy. I want to laugh. Fuck this.
Okay.
And looking back in hindsight, it looks like it's something I would be really interested in. But I remember it had like kind of a slow pace at first, and it's kind of like the dark slice of life, isn't it? Because I think he like makes friends with like an abused girl and tries to help make things right for her as well. And I never got to the end, so I want to say like at the end, like he doesn't exist anymore, or like she doesn't remember him, or like nothing happens between them. You know, I guess maybe people were like shipping them together as a couple, and you find out she married somebody else and had a kid,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so he's just.
Yeah.
And so that's perfectly fine because that's what he wanted, you know. Just
Yeah.
because he does something nice doesn't mean that she has to ride his dick, people.
Exactly.
So I actually prefer that ending to the typical "I want the boy to get the girl" thing. You know,
Right.
sometimes it's okay if the boy doesn't get the girl.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy can be totally fine with her being happy and living a life where she's not being fucking abused and hurt and living in misery. Maybe that's enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'll have to finish it at some point. It sounds like an amazing series.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not higher on the list, but considering what got I get put above it, I can kind of understand why. It's a popularity contest, and
And the thing
with go ahead.
the thing also is the reason why I think people hated the ending was they, quote unquote, they said it was too predictable, and they didn't want it to be too predictable. They wanted this anime to be God's gift. They wanted this anime to be absolutely perfect. They wanted the anime to blow their minds, and they didn't want to be right with what they guessed, because this anime is like, who's the killer, you know? And then you have the killer in your mind, and then it's like, I think most people are like, I don't want to be right. I want to be completely blown away. I want people to bend me on the left side of the road, but then go right. And they didn't do that, and that's why I also think that a lot of people were upset. They were disappointed. Because
But I think it's more of a character study than a mystery, though, if you get down to it, though, isn't it?
It's
So-
both. It's both. Definitely both, I think.
I mean, if you want to get something out of left field, just read those Soggy Drop manga. Yeah, that'll fuck your mind up. You thought you liked that anime? Yeah, just read the manga. That'll fuck up everything you wanted if you want something the hell out of left field.
Lol.
When it comes to Erased, though, just enjoy it for what
Yeah.
it is and quit being an ungrateful dick.
Exactly. Stop being ungrateful dicks, people. Okay, so our final anime of the day, we're gonna continue next week, is Mirai Nikki, also known as Future Diaries. I like this anime. I liked it when it came out. It was one of my first anime. This was the anime that gave birth to the yanderes, to the yandere queen. I like the idea. I
Well,
like
popularized
the premise.
it, at
yeah.
least.
I like the idea. I like the premise. I just like it's a good, crazy, pink, Yuki filled thing. It's just fun. It's all good mystery, detective, killing fun. I liked it.
I don't know if I'm so much on the plot of it, but it's definitely got the violence and the action and
Oh yeah. There's
the
even a
joys of
little
a fucked up
yaoi.
relationship.
There's even a little
Some
yaoi
time
there.
travel too.
Oh yeah, time traveling. I thought it was like, I can see why a lot of people could find the time traveling a little cheap though, but I think it's fine.
It's anime if you don't read too much into it. Like I want
Yeah.
to say it was made on a graphic novel too, but I mean everybody loves Yuno, you know, everybody's favorite psycho, you know, yundere waifu.
Yeah. So it's good. Okay, so that is it for the top 50. Well, no, is it the bottom or the top? I'm gonna say it's the bottom 50.
Technically, we should have ended at 51 and then started with the next 50, but you know what? Fuck it. You
Yeah.
do things however you want. You went one beyond.
Right. I went one beyond, so maybe we should call this podcast the one beyond. I don't know. So
The top or the bottom 50 and the one beyond.
exactly. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much so much for watching or listening. It's probably a better thing to listen to while you're drawing or something, or eating or driving, than actually watching, because there's nothing really visual here. But yeah,
Or
thank you.
driving and eating if you're just an overachiever.
Don't do that, kids. You might get hurt. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Do that. All that good shit to help my channel grow. Thank you, Bridget, for joining me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Meow.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, tune in next week when we're gonna finish our discussion. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and remember to stay determined. TTFN, guys.
Join forces.